Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm doing another review. I'm doing something a little different. Another one of my huge hobbies is longboarding. So I'm going to do two reviews. Actually, I'll do a few reviews, but the major part of this review is going to be on the 5-mile Warhawk. Oh, there we go. 5-mile Warhawk and the Surf Rod IndeesZ. And then I might mention the mini zombies. But so let's start off with the concave of this board. Let me start from this side. So the board is a double kick board. It's symmetrical, and the concave is really, really intense on this board. I did my own grip job. It comes ungripped when you buy it. I believe the deck was about 150 when I got it. So pretty good price deck, and I think well worth the money. Definitely my favorite board that I've ridden ever, and it's the favorite one that I've owned. I've owned quite a few boards, but this one is definitely my go-to board for almost everything. I have it set up with Surf Rod IndeesZ, like I said before. This is a free ride setup for me. I'm more downhill oriented, but I do some free ride. So, like I said, this concave is extremely intense. If you go to 5 Miles website, you can see more specs on the concave. That's something you can look up on your own. But I wanted to tell you about the functionality of the board and what I like about it. So, the concave I love. It makes super deep pockets that you can maybe see here. One right in here and the other right here. Those pockets are amazing. They lock you in really tight. Like I said though, the concave is super intense and super different. It's a really wonky concave if you're not used to it, and I highly suggest you ride the board before you buy it. I absolutely hated this board when I first got it. I was actually thinking to sell it, and it wasn't until I started going fast on it that it really came out strong. When you're going slow, it takes a lot of getting used to. It's not the most cruiser-friendly board. It's definitely at home going fast, and it's definitely at home going sideways down hills. I personally love to stand right on the micro drop right here and right here. Whoops, nope, right here. I like the way that feels. It really locks your foot in and it feels really nice. The kicks on this board. This is what most people look at on it. This is very similar to the Skyhawk and the Warthog. The Warthog and the Skyhawk are different. One is a top mount and has a bigger drop. The other one's a drop through. But they're semi-similar. The kicks on this are pretty sweet. Have an insane amount of pop for how heavy this board is. I actually had to get used to it quite a bit because I was riding a Tantian before. I ended up selling that because I just wasn't my style board, and way overpriced, by the way. That's just my opinion. And those are actually mellow kicks and don't have that much pop. They have a good pop, but not that much. This has way more pop than I could have ever imagined this board to have. They are a funky shape. If you look at them, they're not rounded. They're very flat. That took some getting used to because I tend to stand on the sides of my kicks. You can even see how the grip tape is worn on one side more than the other because that's where I tend to put my foot. That's just my riding style, and once you get used to it, it's really nice. Feels good. The tails, I have a tiny bit of razor tail. Not really, as this is a very thick board, but the tails are extremely resilient. You can do manuals on this, and if you scrape for like 10 feet, there's only a few scratches on your board. Very resilient. I would not recommend this board for like flip tricks and things like that because it's just, it's made of the 9 plies, I believe, but you just don't want to tear up a board that's meant for freestyle and downhill and not freestyle, I'm sorry, free ride and downhill, and do a whole bunch of freestyle on it. There we go. Gosh, got my terminology mixed up. But if you did do some freestyle, it'd put up with it. Like I said, I wouldn't overdo it because you don't want to destroy your speed humps and this middle rise right here. Um, but it'll definitely do its job. When I go fast, this board is amazing for slides. Locks you in. I do more Coleman's and things like that, putting my hand down. Uh, and I learned to stand up on this board because I felt so secure. I'm not a big fan of stand-ups. I do more downhill anyways, so I tend to stick closer to the ground. But this board feels really nice because I like a low setup, and this definitely sits close to the ground. It's not very high, has no camber in it, so there's absolutely no flex in this board. Another thing I don't like flexy boards. I like very stiff boards. So this definitely suits me well. Um, so let me just tell you about my setup. This is part of the reason why I like the board so much. I've ridden my friends, and he had some buzzed precisions on there. It felt amazing for free ride, and I was actually considering doing that. I'm not sure yet though. Right here I got Surf Rod IndeesZ. Surf Rod IndeesZ are an amazing truck. They're my favorite ones that I've ridden so far. And I've ridden quite a few trucks. They are amazing for free ride. They're very nimble, very strong. They're grind friendly. Surf Rods actually came out with the new TKP grinds. Those are grind specific, so you can have the beauty of the IndeesZ with the capability of grinding, and that is pretty sweet in my book. But I do love these trucks. They're not very heavy. I mean, they're a little bit heavy, but they're not too heavy, so it doesn't make your board insanely hard to carry or anything like that. They feel amazing, but be careful because they feel really weird if you haven't ridden Precisions and if you haven't ridden this style truck, because these aren't reverse kingpin, they're traditional kingpins. So they're vertical, and that in itself feels different. But the fact that these are Precisions makes it feel out of this world. It's amazing. I got mine set up with blood orange bushings, and I love them. Those are caliber bushings, just so you know. And just an amazing feel. Very reboundy. I feel pretty stable going down hills. I have this set up pretty loose, like I can just move it with my hands. I like it that way for free ride because I use this as my slide board. But if you tighten these up, put the right bushings in there, you can definitely hit some high speeds. I've seen YouTube videos of people going about 50 with these, which is crazy fast on IndeesZ in my book. But I have taken these up to about 35 to 40, and they were handling it just fine. Very stable. I wouldn't necessarily want to go too much faster than that on these, just because I'm not entirely used to IndeesZ at really high speeds. But I've even taken this board to the skate park. You can see all these scrapes right in here. You know, I was dropping into bowls and hitting some ramps and stuff. It's amazing for early grabs, things like that. Even some ollieing if you wanted to. It's really heavy, and the concave makes it hard to ollie. But if you figure it out, it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool to do. So that's the trucks. I have these mini zombies on here. These are the hardest ones you can get for the mini zombies. And honestly, these wheels are phenomenal slide wheels and freeride wheels. They're great. Very predictable. Not super icy. Some people like the softer durometers. They do feel a little butterier and shed some more speed than these do. These will definitely not shed crazy amounts of speed. And they don't need thane trails. A lot of people love thane trails. I'm one of those people. I do like to see thane trails and see how long I slid. These don't need thane trails. Very, very, very faint, if any. And I have these down. They start at 70. Right now I have them in the low 60s. I've used them quite a bit. But since I don't do that many standees, I don't tear through wheels as fast as a lot of people do. But I don't like these wheels for going fast. They're kind of loud. Like, you can maybe hear that a little bit. It's clean and everything right now, so they're not too loud. But when you're going on the road, they're a bit loud because of the core, which is, you know, not that big a deal, but I would prefer a slightly quieter wheel. And the roll speed is not that high. You're not going to get going super fast with them. I mean, I've taken them pretty quick before, but if I'm going to do downhill, I definitely prefer my flywheels for that. I like to ride the 87s. That's just, I don't know, it's just my preference. I like a big wheel. But these will definitely, if you're going to do free ride, look into the mini zombies. They're amazing. I've also ridden the yellow mini zombies. They feel great. They shed more speed than these, but still amazing slides. And they do leave slight lane trails, definitely more than these. But that's it for the most part. So 5 Mile Warhawk, look into it. You can go to Motion Board, Motion Board Shop carries them, and the 5 Mile website. Go to them for some extra specs on them. You can watch the premiere video on this. It's really cool. You can see the board doing what it's meant to do, and doing some crazy things, some urban freeriding and some crazy early grabs. This board is an amazing board, well worth the money, but like I said, the concave is wonky, so try it out before you buy it. If you do, I hope you enjoy it. Happy riding, and stay safe. Always wear a helmet, and I'll see you guys next time.